first, I want to say thank you again to Somos America for giving me the opportunity just to come share a little bit today. And first, thank Alec for opening the doors. This is a beautiful building, and every single time I have an opportunity to come here and walk through those doors, I consistently march through those doors. And when I think about the Arizona Latino Arts and Cultural Center, I really think about a place that encourages diversity, that highlights diversity, and that also allows us to see what talent we have in our community. And when you look at the talent, when you look at this painting, this canvas that I'm standing in front of, when you look at the paintings that are on this wall, when you look at every single aspect of art that you see in this building, it reminds me, and it should remind you, of the talent that we have in Black and brown communities. And as Chanel mentioned, you know, we have been the heart of the United States of America, and we continue to march and fight together. So thank you to both Somos America and Alec for opening your doors, and let's give them a round of applause. Now, when I was given the opportunity to come speak, I thought that maybe this wasn't thought through all the way for a couple of reasons. One, we know elected officials could be a little long-winded, right? So I said, maybe they didn't realize that. The second reason, I said, this is 2016, it's also election year. So I'm like, well, add that long-windedness to election year, so it's a little bit more than that too. So just to kind of put you at ease, I'll be up here for no longer than 65 to 75 minutes. No, just kidding. No longer than 45. No, but in all seriousness, I am humbled, and I do appreciate the opportunity just to come and share a little bit more about what we're celebrating today. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Was not only a man of words, but he was a man of action. And many people today use his words in order to inspire us to take action. And today, I hope to use some words to inspire us to take action. When you walk out of here today, there are 3 numbers that I really want you to remember. And I want you to carry these numbers in the conversations that you continue to have. And before I jump into those 3 numbers, I do want to begin with the quote that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. And for me, I feel like this is one of the most powerful sentences I have ever heard or seen written, ever. And it says, quote, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." Let me say that again. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So today I want to talk to you about a few things that matter. The numbers that I want to begin with first is the number 1. And the number 1 represents, we have 1 out of 3 students fail their 3rd grade assessments in our community. 1 out of 3. And let me talk a little bit about why. And I often begin with this question about expectations. Is it the expectation that we have 1 out of 3 of our kids in our community fail because they don't have high quality education, early childhood education care? Is it that 70% of our kids who live in the Phoenix Union High School boundaries, which we have 13 different elementary school districts that feed into our Phoenix Union High School district, is it the fact that 70% of those kids are Black and brown? Is it that 65% of the families of those kids earn less than $50,000 a year? I think that would be the easy answer to say that's why. You have poor minority kids who live in communities of color. That's why. And I think that's the picture that has been painted for so long by so many people. But for me, I think it's deeper than that. It's the fact that we have to continue to provide high expectations for all individuals in all communities. And until we expect that every single person who walks through their door that when we look at our kids, when we look at Alfredo's, when we look at Johnny's, when we look at Quinchon's, we say that you can be the next Dr. Martin Luther King, that you can be the next President Obama, that you can be the next doctor or researcher or scientist, and we have to hold that high expectation. And the only way that we change that 1 in 3 number is if we provide and have that expectation for our communities. The second number is the number 2. Only 2 out of 10 of our students in high schools are ready for college math or reading. That's horrific. And the fact that we are not uprising and flipping over tables and throwing chairs to say why, in the fact that only 2 out of 10 of our students are ready for college level math and reading, that is a tragedy. And we know if that's happening in any other community across this country, any other community across Arizona, that you would see that outrage. You would see elected officials being cornered in rooms. You would see school board meetings filled with parents. You would see any conversation about education with fire and passion, because we know that that will not provide our opportunities for our kids. And the last number is the number 7. And this number is I hold this number very close to my heart, because I know without a college education, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to be here in front of you today as a state representative. So when we think about all of our kids who go through our schools and they take every single class that their teachers tell them, they go up across the stage, they have their graduation parties, they have their diploma, they're excited. But today in Arizona, not only 7 out of 10 Black and brown students who are high school graduates. Let me paint this picture again. 7 out of 10 Black and brown students who are high school graduates do not qualify for our universities. That's a tragedy. Because when parents send their kids to schools, they expect that they have a promise, and that promise is once my kid graduates, that they can be whatever they want to be, that they can go wherever they want to be. But the fact of the matter is, today in our schools here in Arizona, that's not the promise that our kids are getting. We are not living up to our promise. And this is something that's not talked about. 7 out of 10 of our kids who graduate can't qualify. This should be a daily conversation every single day. But that's something I don't believe our parents know. That's something I believe a lot of our community members don't know. And until we continue to have that conversation, we have to push the envelope. And the question again is why? Why isn't that conversation happening? And it's because the system is working perfectly for some people. It's not working perfectly for all. When you don't see on the headlines that we have more than half of our kids who do not qualify for our universities, that is a tragedy. So what do we have to do? We have to go to our school board meetings. We have to talk to our school board members. We have to go to our legislators. We have to talk to our teachers, our principals. We have to have the conversations to say that I expect that when I send my kid to school, that I expect when you say that you're going to give my kid an opportunity, you actually do that and you deliver on that. Because if you don't, you are letting us down and you're not in the position that you need to be in. We have to make sure that every single day that our kids truly believe that they have the ability to do and be whatever they want to be. And the only way that's going to happen is if we continue to think about these numbers and we continue to think about the fight and the fact that they have, there's many opportunities, but until we continue to push those opportunities, we'll continue to be where we're at. Again, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. We know that we have an incarceration rate that is sky high, and Vivi Hernandez has been fighting tremendously in this area. We know that we have a number of our disconnected youth, and we have over 18,000 foster kids in the state of Arizona. We know that our unemployment rate in our communities continues to rise. And we have to resort back to ask ourselves, why does this happen? And education has always been the foundation for many communities, and we know education can provide the opportunities and open the doors for so many of us. And if we continue to provide opportunities for our kids, we don't have to think about these numbers on the back end. And for me, there's another quote that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. And this is a quote that, for us, we have to continue to live by. And it says, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving." And if we continue to keep moving, if we continue to keep progressing to make sure that our kids have an opportunity, that all students in every community have an excellent education, we can continue to move forward. So thank you today, and allow me to talk just a little bit more about our education system and to raise the awareness of things that matter in our community so we can continue to push the envelope, continue to push this conversation, because Dr. Martin Luther King has painted a platform for us to continue to move forward, and collectively we can continue to do that. So thank you again.